Shut up and sit down.
Welcome back, Dakar fans. And if you're just joining us for the first time, this is Dakar 18, the official video game of the Dakar Rally, which takes place once a year in January. This is the 2018 edition, which happened between Peru, Bolivia, and Argentina, I believe. I am now in the area of Chilecito in Argentina, stage 12 out of 14. I am trying to make up time. I think I got third place in the previous stage 11. I didn't make up much time. That was a shorter stage. I believe I'm in 10th or 11th overall, and that's a huge rock. I think that would have I think I would have took some damage there. Oh man, this is a much longer stage. It is 570 some kilometers. And again, if you're joining us for the first time, the scale of these maps are 1/32, so 1 kilometer equals 32 kilometers in the game. Yeah, the great thing about this, again, you can see my headlights on. We're leaving as a little foggy. Probably an early morning departure for the bikes, and use a headlight, and it actually does change throughout this actual stage. I believe the visibility, the sunlight, and everything. Yeah, so this stage is going to take me about almost an hour to complete. So that's, I mean, an hour to complete one stage on the bike. Pretty awesome. I haven't heard a lot of news about the next edition of this game. I know that they are working on it for the Dakar 19 edition. So I went to their Facebook page, tried to look up some old information, and they have some from quite a while ago. Somebody had asked if they would like to see some content for old rallies, like when the Dakar actually raced from Paris to Dakar. The developers, they responded and said, yeah, they do actually have a plan for historical vehicle moments, they're calling it, mostly from the Paris Dakar, the 80s and 90s. So what they're calling Dakar Chapter 1, you know, Africa. You know, that was the when the rally first started. You know, that's where it got its name from. What pretty much all of us old timers associate the Dakar with is the African stages, but they said it's a little more you know, complex. They have to get authorizations, you know, with all the old drivers, if they want to include the old drivers, the old car manufacturers, the teams, to get to you know, to include those guys in the game. And a lot of those people are not around anymore, as far as they're not racing actively. Those teams don't exist. So again, tracking down all these people, getting their authorization, paying them for the license, you know, whatever it takes to get somebody in a game. So that would be really awesome, though, as DLC. You know, even if it's a few stages of an African rally, with, you could play as an old driver or rider on the bikes. Right, we are passing Franco Kaimi. Wait, now? Oh, they're saying he's still in front of me. Yeah, I'm gonna have to pass him again. As mentioned before in previous stages, the AI, they did a very poor job of programming the AI. You can see that AI, he's just cruising around when I get close to him. When you get close to an AI, they will 99% of the time just slow down, and they'll even veer off course, you know. And what I'm figuring the developers did is they made it that way so you can't follow them, because they'll just go so slow, they'll actually ruin their whole race. So if you stayed behind them for the whole race, you would be going maybe 25 miles an hour the whole entire stage, and they don't care. I think they did it so you will not follow them. You'll get frustrated and just leave, which I think was a poor design decision, because in the real rally, people get lost. People get lost together. They follow each other. You know, you think you're following somebody that knows where they're going. They don't. They go off on a wrong track. You're following them for so many kilometers, and you then figure out, hey, we're going the wrong way. Turn around, go try to get back on the real track. That's what should happen in this game. This AI, they should program it to allow you to follow them, and it might not even be on the right track. You know, make the AI make mistakes. You know, they shouldn't make a lot of them, but you follow a certain guy on one stage, man, you might be going the wrong way for a little while. I think that would add to the realism a whole bunch, and not make just the when you're passing them, just the ridiculousness of them just slamming the brakes, letting you go by. You know, let's make it more realistic. So that roadbook entry I am trying to get to now is a double danger. Also, it has a GPS waypoint, and it's saying on track. The P means peace, French for, you know, track or trail, whatever you want to call it. And that little S, it's squiggly S, that means twisty. And it's also more or less visible in that middle there, the double danger. Probably a dip or a jump or something. And it looks like we're getting it on an established, no, we're actually, they're calling this an established road. It's just a dirt road. So on a track, yeah. And we're nearing a speed zone. Speed zones are what killed me in stage 5. I believe that was the first speed zone in the game, and I totally forgot about it. And I just blew through the speed zones and accrued an hour and a half of penalties, speed penalties. So that's what I've been trying to recover ever since. Not making a lot of progress. Still like an hour and a half behind. So if I wouldn't have taken those penalties, probably would be leading this rally right now. All right, right now we are off track. I mean, we're off piste. That's what the HP stands for, hors piste, French for off piste, off track, off trail, what have you. So we're just following that cap heading of roughly 8 degrees. We need to hit, looks like there's gonna be some rocks we should see at kilometer 96, so we still got a little bit ways to go to it. Oh yeah, and I'm just gonna let you guys see this, but I'm gonna turn off the HUD so I can take some screenshots from my YouTube video. They don't have a camera mode in this game, which would be really nice if they did, because sometimes the angles, you can only get these certain angles for your screenshots. And it's never the correct angle that I want for YouTube. Oh, and there's that rock maybe. Well, that's what happens when you're not following the looking at the road. Distracted driving. Yeah, that wasn't the rocks I was looking for, but oh man. Okay, they must be right up there. Right, head towards that big rock and make a left. PP says the main track, so there must be multiple tracks there. East Principal. I don't know if there's a couple roads, but it says the main one, so there must be a big road and maybe some small ones off of it. I don't know. Anything that looks like a big road, I guess. I guess it's that, yeah. And I gotta find the little waypoint. There we go. And the mud physics really suck in this game. Just keep it going. Don't get stuck. Because I've been stuck in the mud on this game in a bike and I couldn't get out. Had to reset to the last waypoint. Took a penalty on that too. Maybe, oh, that's another 20 minutes I took, I think. Right, twisty, more or less visible. A P must be a P must just mean track. Wow, 20 Ks to the next waypoint. I am still running in second on this stage. See, Sunderland, he is 6 waypoints ahead of me. See if we can make up some time on him. So you can lean back or lean forward on the bike. It does give you extra speed. So if you do that, you'll see your aerodynamics improve, I guess. Yeah, so if you are a Toby Price fan, you know, he's won the Dakar before, an Australian bike rider. He, you know, he won it last year with pretty much a broken wrist. He was wearing a brace. He could barely hold on to the bike, you know, coming into the bivouacs at the end of each stage. Man, he was just insane that he could do that, you know, finish this race with a broken wrist and still win it. For the 2020 Dakar, you know, he says he's targeting 80 to 90% wrist movement. So I don't know what his wrist movement is now, but it's less than 80 to 90%, you know, for riding a bike, and it's his throttle hand also. So, oh man, that must just really suck. And if you have not watched, I mentioned it way back in an early stage, but go on YouTube, just search for Toby Price 60 Minutes. 60 Minutes Australia did a really cool feature on him. You know, it gives his background, his background story when he was young, how he got into racing and riding, all of the injuries he's had. He's had some pretty bad injuries, pretty crazy. But he also does this race in Australia every year, the Fink Desert Challenge or something like that. So what that is, it's a 2-day race where you race from, I don't know if you race from Fink to a town or from a town to Fink. And then, oh yeah, I'm trying to turn down, I'm changing my settings here on the game. I was getting some low frame rates, and so I was like, I want to get back above 60. I'm going to get a GTX 1070. So I think I was just checking if I could get a little bit more frames. But back to Toby Price, yeah. He runs this Fink Desert race down in Australia every year. You race from one town to the next, and then the next day you turn around and go back the other way. So he does it on the bikes. He's done it in the past. He'll race on the bikes, takes a few hours, whatever it takes. He then will get in a plane, fly back to the start, and then do it in his stadium truck. So his trophy truck, I mean. And he's tried to win it on both the bikes and the trucks in the same year. He hasn't done it yet, but that's a goal he's trying to do. I believe this year he was, I don't know when they raced the Fink, but if anybody in the comments can tell me, but he, I think, is not going to be riding the bike this year, just trying to, I think, let his wrist heal some. So we'll see. But he's actually said he wants to, he has got about 5 to 8 years left of riding motorcycles. So that's his goal, and he's trying to work his way into the cars. Kind of like, who was the last one? Cyril Dupre, I think. He's the last guy to kind of transfer from bikes to the car class. But that is Toby Price's ultimate goal. He wants to race until he's 55 or 60 years old. There are a lot of older competitors in the Dakar. Man, to see him, Toby Price, be around for that long, that would be really awesome. I mean, he's probably, you know, they have these Dakar legend status they give people based on, you know, how long they've been competing. And is this, oh, I've already passed somebody. Who's this? I don't know who that was, but I just passed him. That must have been Sam Sunderland. See, again, he was going so slow. This is a super rough area, and I'm not entirely sure I was on the right heading here. I think I was thinking I could cut across these. Yeah, so that with that pass on Sunderland, we have now, at least on him, I don't remember. I think he might actually be leading the rally. We're roughly 18 minutes up on him now because we started way behind him. And we're now 3 waypoints ahead of him, or two waypoints ahead of him. And on the road, we're at 18 minutes less time than him. So that's good. We're making up time on him, which I believe Sam Sunderland is the leader of the rally right now. Right, so it's saying there is a double danger bump. It's probably just gonna jump over a little road or something, or over a little stream or creek bed. We'll see what it is. Double danger, we just usually gun it. Yep, we're just gonna gun this, air it out, nothing bad. I think it gets probably worse when you're driving in the cars. At 239, I think it means something's more or less visible. And those squiggly lines usually are like a wash or a river. There's only one of them though. I don't see that on any of the road book notes that I'm looking at of what that actually means. Usually a wash or river is 2 squiggly lines. They're denoting one there. I am going flat out here. Make up time. Come on. Couple more waypoints until we get to the passage control. The I'm gonna say a halfway point of this stage. Usually at these places have refueling. You don't have to do that in this game. It just does it automatically. Refueling, or it'll have an actual road section where you have to travel to the next start point of the special section. Usually on public roads or whatever you have to get there. You do not have to do that in this game, thankfully. Right, we're looking at another double danger bump. A little bit of air, nothing, barely. Keep left. Right, and E3. E3 stands for étroit. My French is terrible, so please excuse me. Étroit means narrow, I guess. Yeah, I guess it does narrow up. Whoa, a little bit. Catch an air. You can damage your bike. You'll get a little warning symbol down on the dash there. You can keep riding as long as you want. You can get terminal damage, and it will make you either choose to retire from the whole rally, or you can restart from the last waypoint. So of course I'm not gonna retire from the rally if I'm damaged beyond repair. That'd be a waste of many hours. Okay, so on this note, at 274, it's a step up. Double danger step up. I do not know what step up means, other than it's going to go uphill, kind of. Yes, right there. Yeah, it was just like going up to a different level. Alright, I mean, interesting. Pretty sure those little eyelash things on that 276 waypoint are like a little downhill on the outside of that corner. I believe that's what it means. Right, last stop, passage control. $31 in the first half of this. Yeah, so it lets you choose, I guess, if you want to. Yeah, neutralization. So we're on our way to the next area. Still overcast, threatening rain. Oh yeah, a little bit of dark there. Another 200 and some K to go. thinking that was 7:11 a.m. in the morning that we were leaving. If that was the case, we must have left a lot earlier if this is the second part of the stage. Strange. It wasn't very dark. I don't know. I don't know what their timeline. I would have had to pay attention to what the time that we left was. Oh, and my headlights went out, and you can see I now have a damage or repair indicator light on my dash there. So electronics must be having a problem. So if I do stop to repair it, will incur a penalty depending on what the damage is and what you choose to repair. You don't have to repair everything. You can try to limp through the rest of the stage. We're at the very damn beginning of the stage. Don't really need a headlight, so we'll see. Ooh, did not want to hit those rocks. Here we go. Ooh, my tires are shot. Okay, that's all I'm gonna do. I must have turned off my headlight. It didn't get damaged. And so another interesting thing, the teammates of Ricky Brabec, who I am playing here, uh, Kevin Benavides, he incurred a 3-hour penalty in the 2019 Dakar. So you're not supposed to, I guess, have extra notes on your, except what's on the road book, or you can't put extra notes in your gear, in your jacket or anything like that, or anywhere else on the bike for extra like help. So what happened is they gave him this penalty, 3 hours. So that dropped him back to 12th place in the overall standings. So Honda, they appealed, and then like 3 months later, his penalty was overturned. So he went from 12th up to 5th place. He was still a little bit ways back from the leader, so that would have been really crazy though if they reversed his penalty and he would have been close enough where he could have won the Dakar. But they overturned the penalty because the rule changes were they were only written the day before he was given the penalty, and they weren't published until after they already had completed the stage. So it was kind of like, it was probably one of those gray areas or something where it was probably in the spirit of the rules where you weren't supposed to do that, but it wasn't actually spelled out. Dakar organizers probably saw that people were doing it, so then they like wrote the rule really fast, and then they published it too late for, and then they gave this guy a penalty, and then but they hadn't actually published the rule. So arbitrators are oh, check that, I cleared that cleared that section. Double danger. That double danger means it's just a double jump and you need to gun it. Here's another one. Gun it. That didn't have a good enough lip. Yeah, pretty crazy. So he got away with it, but I guess now that is a firm rule and cannot make extra notes. Make up some time. Do not follow the Rio exactly. Alright, we're looking for the Rio again. Make a left and follow it. And again, tip, you know you're following the Rio. You don't have to be in it exactly. Take so much time to go through the twisty turns of the Rio. Just go straight line it. Get some air. Oh, this mud. I did not see that coming. Right, QT the Rio. That means quit the Rio. At 135, we are going to get out of this right on that road right there. Stay on piste. Double danger bump. Put some air. Nope, that was weak. They're counting this a Rio, but it looks more like a road. Yeah, I guess the other road was running through the Rio. What happens when it rains here? It must not rain very often. That was a confusing little intersection. Seemed like there was more than a four-way intersection there. with the Rio at 165. And it should be a twisty road that we're getting on. It says PS. We have made up a lot of time. Walkner is now in second. We are at least two checkpoints ahead of him, and we are 20 minutes ahead. That means that, now Bagoder is in second. So Sunderland is dropping down the standings, so we're gaining more time on him probably. Double danger dip, I think, coming up. There it is. Nothing special for a bike. I think maybe in a car that might catch somebody out. Triple danger bump. Okay, triple danger. Let's get some air on this one. This better be a good triple danger. That's all I'm saying. There it is. Look at it. Let's see. We're gonna catch air. Yeah, that was pretty unrealistic, I think. I think Ricky Brabec would have yard sailed that. I don't think the suspension was that good on this Honda. I think in a car that would be even worse. And if you haven't watched it, be sure to check out my Dakar video on the Pisco Stadium semi-truck jump. There's a jump in Pisco Stadium. I'm calling it Pisco Stadium. It's on stage 1. You can get to it. But there's a stadium. It has all these semi-trucks lined up with the jump and a landing pad after them. Oh, another. That was only a double danger. That seemed worse. But yeah, you can jump the stadium, the semi-trucks, and try to clear them all. It is very difficult to do on the bike. You have to get some head of steam up around the banked oval and then cut down into the infield to try to jump them. Check the video out in the on my channel page in the Dakar playlist. We are getting close. Gonna make up time. Oh man, why didn't they put a control this close to the end? That's some things I don't understand. Like, why not put this halfway through the stage? Oh, get on the cap heading there. And sometimes you have to adjust a little. I went pretty far past that turn, so I didn't get exactly on 153 to begin with. I overcompensate back a little bit, then brought it back to 153. Hopefully, I then will line up a little closer. Yeah, see, I could have even went back a little farther, I think. Luckily that had a GPS waypoint. Otherwise, trying to find it would have been interesting. And here we go, coming up to the finish. See, I don't know why we had that other control right there. Stage complete. Let's see how much time we actually made up. I think I would take a little bit of penalty for those repairs I did. Yeah, 2 minutes. 2 minutes of repair time. So 54:11. Final time of 56:11. I think we made up some good time here. Yes, we made up over 20 minutes on them. Oh, man. Sam Sunderland, really bad. He had an hour behind me. That is really good. He must have had some problems. We are now up to 8th place, an hour behind. So we did make up a half hour at least. Man, that was a long one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Dakar 18, Stage 12, complete. Hey, hit that subscribe button. Leave me a thumbs up. Leave me some comments. Let me know what you thought. And I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks a lot, guys.